on, you guys? It's Ariel here and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about how you can acquire Halsin in your party in Baldur's Gate 3. When you first encounter Halsin, he's not in his human form at all. He is in his bear form. So don't get deterred and go away and be like, oh, okay, where is Halsin? This is, this is the wrong place. Where am I supposed to be? You'll first encounter Halsin in the Goblin camp in Emerald Grove. And the quest line immediately starts with you having to rescue him. So rescue him, take out the goblins, and all that said and done. Now, the main part of this quest line doesn't happen until Act 2 when you are in the Shadow Curse lands. You'll notice that nothing can really survive in the Shadow Curse lands, that you need actually a special tool, a special light, in order to maneuver your way through that area. Make your way through the main storyline of the chapter as you would until you get to the last light inn. Now, at the last light inn, you're going to need to interact with Sleeping Beauty. A man named Art Cullah who is asleep, and you're going to need to complete his quest line. As you go on, you realize that both Halsin's quest line and Art's quest line are interconnected. So what you'll need to do is go through Cullah's quest line to proceed through Halsin's quest line. Now, this next part of the quest line has some of the most beautifully morbid looking characters I've seen. Like, the artwork for them is just, it's amazing. I love it. Next up, you're going to want to go to the House of Healing and obtain the loot from the doctor. This can get a little bit tricky. This is the only part of the quest line besides the final part where you have to fight a horde of monsters. This is the part that can get kind of tricky. Now, all you have to do is have really great persuasion, and you don't have to fight any of these creatures. Fighting them is more of a hassle because I've already gone through and tried to fight them once and then did a run of not fighting them, and it's way easier to go about this section using persuasion to have them basically unalive themselves. Now, in the doctor's inventory, as you can see, there is a loot. You want to grab the loot and then return back to both Halsin and Art. This is the other part that will get kind of tricky if you are much like me and you really didn't put enough powerful spells in your slots. This part can get kind of tricky. So this is the final part before you can get Halsin into your party, and this is the other part that I was saying would be kind of tricky. Halsin has to retrieve Thaniel from the Shadow Curse lands, and in order to do that, he has to leave this kind of barrier thing open, and while it's open, it is susceptible to attacks. You basically have to watch the barrier for Halsin while he's gone and defend it against a horde of creatures. Please do not underestimate how tricky this section is, and really go through your spells list, go through what you have on your person so you can actually see what you have to your advantage. Because my biggest recommendation is to, if you are a sorcerer or you do massive spells with massive damage, get spells that cover a wide area, because as you guys can see here, I use my fire bolt and that covers a very wide area. Now that everything is all said and done and Halsin and Thaniel are back through the portal, you are going to want to pick the dialogue option that recommends that they both head back to the camp. And once you get back to camp, make a beeline for Halsin, go through his dialogue options, and you'll hear him basically say how Thaniel's essence was ripped into two. You have one part of his essence still with him, and the other part is stuck in the Shadow Curse lands that you and your buddies have to retrieve. Now, as soon as you click the option that says join me in one of the dialogue options, hooray, hurrah, you now have Halsin in your party. Congratulations. Now that Halsin's in your party, you guys can go on fighting the Absolute together. You guys can go on different quest lines together. It's a lot of stuff you guys can do together. Just a lot of, nature-filled activities. I really enjoy doing this tutorial, so if you guys want any more Baldur's Gate 3 tutorials, please let me know down in the comments below. But may your coffee treat you well and life give you a nat 20. I will see you all in the next one. Bye, you guys.